artist, it's Miss Coon, and we just finished reading the book The Wonderful Habits of Rabbits, written by Douglas Florian and illustrated by Sonia Sanchez. We are going to use this as our inspiration for our art project today, and we're going to draw portraits of rabbits in a spring setting. You're going to need a piece of paper. In class, we're going to use construction paper, a paint set, a brush and a water cup, and some crayons. If you're here at school, you're going to also get a little cup of brown liquid tempera, but we're going to use this last. Our I can statements for today are: I can elaborate on an imaginative idea. So we're going to imagine a spring scene, and we're going to make a mixed media project using these materials to create a spring environment, and then we're going to use shapes to build the form of a rabbit. So let's get started. Okay, for your project today, you can turn your paper vertical or horizontal. That's up to you. I'm going to turn mine horizontal, and a quick little peek at some of the illustrations from the book. We want the land to come up pretty high in our composition, so we're going to fill this with spring plants, and we have a little bit of open space for sky. We're working on construction paper, so we don't have a true white, but we'll add that on day 2. So I'm going to use this as my inspiration, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a few ideas. I'm going to start with crayon for my Crayon Resist, and I'm going to add a few white kind of dandelion looking. Those are the little plants that you blow the little seeds off. So I'm going to draw a few of those first, and I'm just doing a long stem with lines and little circles, and I want some varying heights where some are tall and some are small. And I know it doesn't show up too much right now. I'm going to use some other colors and add some more plants, but I'll speed this up. Okay, I finished the crayon step already, and you notice I didn't spend a ton of time on it. I did some pretty simple lines, some pretty simple plants and flowers, and then we're going to do a Crayon Resist, and we're going to use watercolor paint and a brush and go over this. And since there's wax and crayon, it's going to repel the water. So I'm going to give you a few ideas. I'm going to use mostly spring colors or plant colors, greens, browns, maybe a little bit of yellow, a few colors for flowers, and I'm going to go in and just paint some more little lines, adding some dimension. And our see how that white was showing through? Our crayon is going to resist and push this away. I'm going to switch and do the lighter green. Just my tall grass is going really close to the top of my paper. Okay, I'll speed this up. Okay, you might have noticed that I painted one of my flowers, and I think it's a little easier to control small things if I do it with crayon. So I just did one and decided I didn't like how that turned out, so I skipped it. So after you've kind of filled your page and you've got watercolors and you've got your Crayon Resist, it may need to give it a second to dry, and then we're going to use our liquid tempera, which is already wet, so your brush doesn't have to be wet. So we need to dry our brush with a paper towel. So I'll take my paper towel and just sort of dry some of that water off. It doesn't have to be wet. I don't need to wash between colors anymore because it's just the brown, and I'm going to use shapes to build a rabbit. So I need to decide what my rabbit is doing. If my rabbit is looking to the side with their head up, or if they're looking back and over their shoulder. But I'm going to start with painting a circle shape where their face is going to be, an oval shape for the body, circle shape, oval shape, and then I'll add the ears and the legs and the tail. So I will paint one quickly, and you can watch. Okay, and this is where we're going to stop for today because we need to let our paint dry. You might notice that yours is a little bit translucent. If you give it a second to dry, you can put another coat on there, but don't worry if it is because we are giving a second day to this project, so you can add another layer if you'd like. We're going to add details like the eyes and inside of the ears, those second colors later. So today, your rabbit just needs to be plain brown. That's kind of boring. And if you're at home and you don't have brown paint, you can mix any two complementary colors. So you could mix a red with a green, or a purple with a yellow, or blue with an orange. That's kind of up to you, but you can experiment at home and see what you can come up with. I can't wait to see what you create.